Yesterday was New Comic Book Day. I went and got my pulls. Let me show you what I got. Hey, this is James for Read More Comics. Yesterday was New Comic Book Day, the first comic book day in July, and I went to Buy Me Toys in beautiful Mishawaka, Indiana to get my pulls. Here is their logo. And while I wasn't there quite at opening, which as a school teacher I really kind of enjoy taking advantage of. I mentioned this in other videos. It's just a really cool vibe. I was there within that first hour and it was really busy, which is kind of cool to see because usually in the afternoon, after work, the after work crowd is a lot more chill, you know. So I was there. I had a pretty light pull list, so I used this as an opportunity to get some supplies. I ran out of, or was just about to run out of bags and boards, and it's not always guaranteed they're going to have them because the company they go through, BCW, which is located here in Indiana, sometimes it's been having some production issues. I don't know if it's supply chain or what it is, though it's 2026, so you figured they'd be kind of over that. So I picked up some bags and boards, and I picked up some more dividers. I'm getting some more blind science labels, which I've really enjoyed using as I'm curating my collection, and I'll have an update video I think over the weekend about that. And so I needed more of those, and then I had a chance to go through their back issues. I knew they wouldn't have things for my collecting goal because that's kind of right outside of their typical back issues. They do have more modern books, more current books than the last couple, 5, 6, 7 years. They do have some Bronze Age books, but not as much in the titles I'm looking for. So I had a chance to go through them. Let's go ahead and dive in and look at what we're talking about. First up, we have Batman issue number 11. This is the A cover. And I love it when artists, and I'm not sure if it's the colorist and the artist collaborating, I'm imagining it is, they incorporate like a palette of colors that is really close together. So here we have different shades of purple, which I think is really cool. I've enjoyed Matt Fraction's run on this. I've been getting all the A covers on it because I think the trade dress is really cool. And I don't know, it's just easier to with Comics Hub, the app that the store uses for pre-orders, to sub. You can only sub to A covers instead of going through every month. So I've been just getting A covers from the very beginning. This has been a really fun read. It has a different vibe. In New 52, it definitely was kind of that grim dark attitude or atmosphere. Okay, so you can't see, my dog is telling me she wants the drapes opened. So just a moment. You are such a spoiled princess. There we go. She wants to look out the window, so yeah, she gets to do that. Next week's her birthday. She's going to be 9. So anyway, what was I talking about? And in the New 52, they had some really cool kind of odd covers, like Halloween covers and Lego covers and things like that. In Rebirth, they had some great covers, and that's when they went to kind of the cardstock for this. And I just decided that I was just going to do the A covers for this. And I haven't been disappointed because I think Jorge Jimenez has been killing it, both on the interiors, even though he did a lot of the Rebirth run, but also on the covers. So kudos to him. Next up, this is a Marvel title. We have Fantastic Four, issue number 13. This is Legacy number 739. That's a cool skull cover. Obviously, the Ghost Rider. It's not Ghost Rider. It's an incredible simulation. This has been a really fun read. I am becoming a huge Ryan North fan, and just about anything he'll write, I'm pulling. Like I'm getting Doom Quest. I've gotten Fantastic Four, his last volume, in this one. It's amazing. It's up to issue number 13 right now. And I hope he keeps going with this, because this is a book I keep looking forward to reading. This would have been a cool, and it's gimmicky, but this would have been a cool variant cover to kind of, since it's kind of a Ghost Rider homage, if the ghost was a glow-in-the-dark ghost. Anyway, how much is this? So it's $4.99. Probably would have been a $5.99 book just for a gimmicky cover, because that's what Marvel would do. But this is an awesome title, and you should read this. I'm not saying you should, but you should. It's a great gateway into Fantastic Four. Then we have Poison Ivy, issue number 46. This is the Kongyong Iam. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Variant cover. This is a cardstock cover, and this is one of the few DC titles where I am exclusively getting variants. I got this because, well, I'll show it to you, and then we'll talk about it. All right. So, Poison Ivy, I was thinking about it when I saw this yesterday, and I pre-ordered this. But I was thinking about how Poison Ivy kind of has some body horror elements to it. And I'm not a big horror fan, but the body horror that is occurring in Poison Ivy is apropos. And it's been kind of enjoyable. This is building up to the Bad Seeds event, which is going to be a crossover between Batman, Poison Ivy. There is a smattering of other Batman adjacent books like Harley Quinn, Nightwing, probably Batgirl, I imagine. I'm kind of transitioned. It used to be with event books, I would be about collecting everything. Like my first big DC event was Death of the Family, and I have all the tie-ins for it. And my first for Marvel was Age of Ultron. Got all the tie-ins for it. And I would do that for a couple of years, and even recently with some of the Star Wars events, I was getting all the tie-ins. And I've gotten to a point where I realize that unless it's being communicated, you need this. Like DCKO loved the event. I got none of the tie-ins except for one. I got the boss battle book because I thought that was an interesting concept. I don't think it landed quite right, but it was an interesting concept. So with Bad Seeds, I'm going to get the event books that you need. Like I think there's a Bad Seeds Alpha or something like that, kind of the prologue for it. Prologue. I was going to say prelogue. Prologue. And then I'm going to get Poison Ivy. I'm going to get Batman because I'm already subbing those. And if they have a Bad Seed event books, I'll be getting those. But I don't think I'm going to get all the nuanced little tie-ins, because what I'm realizing is almost all the time they're not essential for the story. So anyway, this has been a fun read. We're all the way up to issue number 46 right now, which is again crazy because it's Poison Ivy. But I love, like, kind of taking a macro view, how it went from Poison Ivy being a reasonable human being who had reasonable goals. Like well, let me rephrase this. She had a sense of morality, of right and wrong, and very environmental focused, right? Which makes sense for Poison Ivy. But then slowly over the entire arc of the story, 46 issues, it's kind of gone off the rails. It didn't start that way though, which is kind of cool. So anyway, this has been a fun read. This is not an impulse buy. I'm not yet subbing this book because I don't want to tie my LCS or tie my hands with my LCS, but I will pick it up off the shelf. This is a Matt Rosenberg title. Well, it's not a Matt Rosenberg title, but Matt Rosenberg is the writer I'm following on this, because that's something I'm realizing as a collector. There's a handful of writers that I will follow. Matt Rosenberg is one of them. This is Spawn 377. Okay. Very cool cover. Spawn, as someone who, like, I'm a Gen Xer. I read Spawn when it was coming out, back in the day. First 100 issues, that's been kind of a low-key collecting goal. I only have a couple issues left. Love the early Todd McFarlane. Greg Capullo on it was amazing. And I tried to get back into it. This was before the pandemic. He got a new writer on it. I got Spawn Resurrection because Al Simmons was coming back. And I really liked Spawn Resurrection. It was written by this new writer. And John Boy Myers was doing the art, which was really cool. And then this new writer took over the first couple of issues, and it was good. And I enjoyed it. And then Todd McFarlane came back. And this is not a slight against his creativity, but I think he's been writing Spawn for a long time, and it shows, if that makes sense. It's a critique. And so issue number 375, the last 5 pages, was Matt Rosenberg. And the rest of the book was Todd McFarlane. And you could just tell in the dialogue that he's not on his A game like he was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. There was some repetition in word choice that wasn't quite hitting. And where you get to Matt Rosenberg, and it's a breath of fresh air. And the art style is totally different than what Todd McFarlane been using. So I got 376, and I really enjoyed it. It's a Spawn book, but it's almost not a Spawn book. It has a very different flavor to it, which in a podcast, Matt Rosenberg was saying that's what Todd McFarlane wanted him to do. He wanted Matt Rosenberg to write his Spawn book, not what Todd McFarlane wanted. So I'm hoping this continues along this track because I really like Matt Rosenberg as a writer. The creative team is amazing. Segovia, I don't know his first name. I can only think of the Segovia pack. It kind of has a manga influence to it, which works for Spawn. And while Spawn is definitely a part of the story, it's not like front and center. Now this is supposed to be occurring concurrently with King Spawn, which I don't want to collect. I don't want it in my short box because I just don't. So right now I'm just getting Spawn. If I feel I need to go back to getting the back issues of King Spawn, I'll totally do that. So that's my 2 cents about Spawn. We have a one-shot. There's very few Star Wars books right now being published by Marvel. They kind of jumped the shark on the last volume. As a Star Wars fan, I felt that way. This is Star Wars Rogue One, Saw Gerrera. This is one of the one-shot Rogue One 10th anniversary books they're coming out with. Okay. And all of these take place, they're prequels to Rogue One, so they're kind of filling in the gap, like what was happening beforehand. The Cassian Andor one was really good. Jyn Erso was good, kind of like how did she get into prison, what was going on. Nothing big, but it's just cool to revisit these characters. Rogue One is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, so getting a little bit of that depth for all the characters is going to be cool. And honestly, out of all the characters in Rogue One, Saw Gerrera has already the most backstory because he showed up in Clone Wars. I'm getting the A covers. All the A covers have kind of this profile to it, which is kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to reading that. This is the beginning of my back issues. So, was it 2 months ago, Absolute Batman issue number 20 had an issue at the printer, and DC was going to replace all the books, free second prints. My LCS, if I kept the receipt, and I did, I folded up, put it in my wallet, I could get a free copy of that. And I missed it when they first did it because it came out June 3rd. And so I sent my LCS a Facebook message, hey, I didn't realize I missed it. Okay, we'll do that. And they're really good about that. when I went in, I saw it on the shelf, and I didn't know they had some like held behind the counter, but I looked through them on the shelf, and I found like a minty copy. Do I need this? No, I don't. But one thing I have to say is, and I'll show it to you, is I really like the color choices in the trade dress. So I think that just pops. So I've already read it. It's a good book. And then these are other back issues that I needed. These are all Teen Titans. This is the Damian Wayne run. So this is, I think, volume 6. I'll put it right down here if it's not. I think it's volume 6. So in this, Damian Wayne becomes the head of the Teen Titans. And I'm kind of filling it in, trying to get it as I can. And I wanted to get the Alex Garner variants, which was the bead cover on some. This one isn't an Alex Garner one, but this one's really cool. So this is number 28. I'm not a big fan of Deathstroke because of Marv Wolfman's Teen Titans story about him. He's kind of a sleaze. But I love how the reflection on the sword. That's just cool. I don't know why Flash is way in the background, though. Like, I feel Flash should be in the front because he's the Flash. This is an Alex Garner cover. We have Teen Titans number 30. This is also an Alex Garner cover, issue number 31. And so is this. This is issue number 34. So those are all my polls and some back issues. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. I appreciate you spending time with me in this. Please do like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Did you get your polls this week? What were you looking forward to? The big one for me, honestly, my big one, I'm going to go with Batman. Though Fantastic Four is a close second choice. So let me know what you think. Appreciate you listening in. This weekend I'm going to be doing an update on my comic book curation. I've kind of hit a plateau, and I want to kind of share where I'm at and why I'm happy with that. So until then, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget, life is so much better when we read more comics.